God is pure mind. God in itself does not breathe. It does not have a beating heart. In itself, all it does is think. Aristotle said that God was matterless form, and its sole activity was thinking about itself, i.e., about perfection, about immutability. It never once thought about anything material, which is to say imperfect and mutable. Aristotle was in fact talking about God as pure being, as eternal and necessary, as perfect unity, with an entropy of exactly zero. But God has a second mode, that of becoming, and that's when God breaks down, becomes entropic, and turns into the devil, or the demiurge, lord of matter. Being begets becoming, which is to say thinking produces sensing. The intelligible world creates the sensible world. Mind creates matter. Matter is projected, solidified thought. The projection takes place via the framing thoughts of space and time, which is to say the property of phase, in mathematical terms. Thinking is the core activity of life, mind, God, and reality. Breathing is not the core of life. Blood is not the core of life. The heart is not the core of life. And the brain is not the core of life. All of these are required to sustain bodies, through which living minds can express their thoughts. Bodies exist to support thinking, not to support the circulation of blood or oxygen or neurotransmitters or hormones. All of these are means to allow the mind to control the body. Sensing is not the core activity of life, although that must come as a surprise to scientists whose entire method is based on sensing and not on thinking. God in itself is a thinking mind, an immaterial singularity outside space and time. God outside itself, which is to say in the world, is a body, a material cosmos framed by space and time. It's remarkable how many people have no difficulty imagining space, time, and matter, but are literally baffled by non-space, non-time, and non-matter. They cannot conceive of such a thing. It defies their imagination. They can only picture things in a container. They cannot picture net zero thoughts in a singularity, and so they dismiss the whole idea. They accept the reality solely of what they can picture, and everything else is deemed impossible. This is the essence of simplistic picture thinking. As Hegel pointed out, only the most intelligent people can switch away from picture thinking to conceptual thinking, which involves no pictures at all. The people with the highest intelligence by far are those who can engage in conceptual thinking. Scarcely any humans are capable of it. Scientists in particular cannot conceive of any existence other than that of the material mode associated with space and time, the picture mode, the sensing mode. Their entire method and paradigm excludes, ideologically and dogmatically, any reference to anything that does not conform to space, time, and matter, that cannot be pictured, that cannot be sensed. Science makes no attempt to disprove the existence of the immaterial. It doesn't contemplate the immaterial at all. It doesn't enter science's paradigm, hence is never considered by science. Scientists are the perfect examples of the prisoners trapped in Plato's cave. They are exactly the kind of people Plato had in mind. Wikipedia says, in Plato's allegory of the cave, Socrates describes a group of people who have lived chained to the wall of a cave all their lives, facing a blank wall. The people watch shadows projected on the wall from objects passing in front of a fire behind them and give names to these shadows. The shadows are the prisoner's reality, but are not accurate representations of the real world. Socrates explains how the philosopher is like a prisoner who is freed from the cave and comes to understand that the shadows on the wall are actually not reality at all. A philosopher aims to understand and perceive the higher levels of reality. However, the other inmates of the cave do not even desire to leave their prison, for they know no better life. Scientists can never leave the cave of matter. They cannot conceive of anything other than this cave, this container, and they mock and sneer at anyone who thinks there is anything outside the cave. In the modern myth of the Matrix, scientists are again trapped and cannot conceive of any reality outside the Matrix. The scientists of the Matrix, just like the scientists of this world, would laugh if you presented them with the choice of the red or blue pill. For them, there are only blue pills and there is no choice. There is no exit from the Matrix. Anyone who imagines there is must be judged insane, they say. If scientists inside a video game were told that there is a world of code, external to the video game, which creates and controls the game world, they would laugh. They would never accept such a thing. It's beyond their paradigm. Their dogmatism cannot accommodate it.